So I want to preface this real quick. I want to show you how to turn this into this. Now, my name is Casey Gonzalez. I'm just a creative person. I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday on Twitch. All links in the description below. But let's bring it into the project. So it started off as I wanted to draw a sakura tree, and if you don't know what that is, we'll just pull it up right now onto the screen on this side. A sakura tree is a cherry blossom tree, right? I wanted to have this samurai-esque kind of feel to my starting screen, to kind of make it its own, and I didn't know how to start it. So I kind of I grabbed the picture, actually I believe it was this one, and I was like, okay, I think I can make sort of the same thing. I don't know. So let's bring it into Photoshop. At first, like I said, I have no idea. I am not a graphic designer by any chance. I just know how to kind of go about in Photoshop. So a few things, right? Let's bring it here into the pen tool, and if you right click, you go to the curvature pen tool, and this, as long as you kind of going into it, it makes curves as you go about, right? Let's get rid of that. I went ahead and drew some thick lines first, and then a little less thicker, etc., etc. I was like, okay, that's a pretty cool base. And then I was like, well, now I need the tree trunk. Let's fast forward a little bit. Here it is. I then colored it in, made it a little bit. I'm like, all right, kid, well, let's make a mound. Made a mound. Okay, all within. This is just black and white, nothing to it. Now I needed to add leaves. At first, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a pain. I don't know how to translate it. So just going from that picture again to the beginning, I went ahead and actually you can go, if you go into brushes, regular brushes, here we go. And you click on this, if you go special, I believe it's special effects brushes. Don't quote me on that. There you go. Foliage mix. I don't know, this came with it. And I went ahead and started just dabbling on everything. So I wanted pink kind of settings to it. After you kind of go about and, you know, blot it in a way, I ended up with something that looks like this. Nothing too bad, right? But there's two versions of it. So there's one that's behind it, which is this one, and then there's one that's in front of it to give it some kind of depth. So I had that one, and then I had this one to go right in front. So the tree pretty much complete. Right now I needed to get something that's the leaves that's kind of thrown around. Now it took me a while, but I settled in. I made a new page, and I drew a little bit of leaves. Now if you can see here, let's go and zoom in. These are just, again, drawn by the same pen tool and just kind of made into weird little shapes, and that's how I kind of got around it. That's one version. I have another one that looks like smaller kind of leaves, right? If we zoom into that real quick. And then the big leaves, as I call it. The big leaves. And that's what the brunt of the leaves that you're going to see on my current page. So let's add those in right here. The leaves just kind of random everywhere else, just like that. Okay. And then I was like, oh man, now I need different kind of versions of it, and like I needed to color, and this is where it all just kind of comes out of it. I have no idea. So just kind of going through it, I then put in a little bit of, put on some grass. Grass that's gray, I don't know, it works for me, right? I then put in a little bit of a background. It's kind of hard to see, but let's turn on the white background so you can kind of see. I put in like another brush. You see this little gray thing right here? It's like a brush effect. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I went ahead and sampled it. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. There you go. Let's turn off that on. And then I wanted the background to mimic the same kind of feels as my current scene, which is purple, and I love it. There you go. Turn a little purple, turn on the white. I got the background, I got everything else looking snappy, love it. However, I wanted something to kind of give it a little bit of edge, like a pop. So there's these things called dots, and I just put dots everywhere, right? And I'm like, wow, we're really getting to this now. This is like the third hour, the second hour right now, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm getting really excited, but then I had to add some shadow. The same exact motion, I'm coloring it in just a little bit and I'm smudging it. There's a smudge tool over here. I had no idea. This thing right here, smudge, right? Smudge tool. And I just went ahead and smudged everywhere to kind of give it a light. I wanted the light to appear from this side going through this way. You see it? Light area going here. It gives you kind of this shadowed effect, the shadow behind it. I'm like, all right, we are almost there. However, there's some other few things that I wanted to get, like let's say I wanted to get my logo, right? My logo is this thing. It's a little guy right here. If you can see it, hold on, let's move it on. However, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we had a little shadow onto it? So I went ahead and put a little drop shadow. I went ahead and put a shadow underneath it because, you know, to mimic that he's levitating. And I'm like, wow, I'm really getting into this. And then now I wanted to get all the other things into my stream, like when it starts and all that. And I grouped it over here. And these are the leaves that will be showing, and I'll show you right now when I click it. You see the other leaves? These are all separated in threes, and I grouped it for a reason. We'll get to it in a little bit, but for now we'll touch on that. And then now I wanted the icons, meaning you can find me on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Twitter. So the YouTube, the Instagram, the Twitter, and the text layer all on top of it. So that comprises of all of the things into this PNG that I have. Now from here, you're just gonna go export, or rather you're gonna save as, and save on your computer. Now I'm not gonna save it, but you're gonna save it as a PSD. Okay, once you do so, click save. And I'm like, cool. Now we technically have Now let me take out my face real fast so you can see exactly how we kind of go about it. Before you kind of get overwhelmed, you're gonna go over here, composition, new composition, and then name it whatever, click OK, and this is what you're gonna come up with, right? You put it into there, you click on your, you're gonna go into file, import the file that you just did right here, Sakura tree. Make sure it's editable, layer styles, and retain the layer styles. Once you click OK, it will go back to this. Okay, this is what it's gonna look like. Now there's nothing that you're going to, we're gonna take it into layers. Under the group tree, now you can't really take it down, you can't see it, but when you put down the file, a new group by itself will pop down, and these are all of the leaves that are currently in the other one right here. So if we turn this off, you can't see it, but they're here. Okay, so that's what that is. Now I just wanted the leaves to move ever so slightly. So if we take this one, we press U, it will bring up the keyframes. From here, we're going to go, you're gonna click P for position, and we're gonna make a keyframe, right? So that's the first one. We're gonna move ever so slightly over here, and then you're gonna move it to however you want. Now for the purpose that we're doing it, I believe I just made it go ever so slightly like that. And then all the way at the end, you go over here and Control C, over here Control V, and that will paste that exact thing. Okay, now after that entire motion kind of goes about, here's what we came up with. Now let's just put this on, and this is what you're gonna see. That little bit of movement. I don't need much, I just need a little bit. Now you can tinker with this the entire time. It is not too intense. However, once you make the keyframes, you're gonna highlight all of them. You're gonna press F9, or you're gonna right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Once you click that, you are then, make sure everything's highlighted. You're then gonna click into this graph editor and make sure it's into speed. Okay, so from here, from the graph editor, we, couple clicks from here, you are just going to highlight, and you see these little handlebars. You can then move it back and forth to make the animation do either faster. You can make the animation either go faster or slower on how you kind of go about this. Once you go over all of them, this is what I came up with after a good, I don't know, 20 minutes or so doing a copy and paste technique. Just moves ever so slightly. I just want it subtle kind of a thing. Now that I got that out of the way, let's go back into the main document. This whole group is now this highlighted one. Here, let me take my camera. This highlighted group is the one that we just edited. Okay, this whole thing. This is the one that moves. I'm like, cool, awesome. Now you can also tell that my logo and its shadow also does the exact same thing, right? But that one's an easier one. From the logo itself, this one, these two markers, right? Let's just take them out. The logo and the logo shadow. So let's go for the logo first. Okay, this one. Again, click P for the position. I wanted it to go up and down just ever so slightly. So we started here with 868, ended at 860, and then at the end again, it will be 868. So just a good, it will just do this ever so slightly, right? And then the shadow right below it, right? This one. If we bring up keyframes for that, I want to remember, click U to bring up a keyframe. As the logo go up, the shadow goes down a little bit, and also the opacity, which is marked over here, it gets a little bit less on the floor because you're a little higher up, right? And then it gets a little darker. And that is it. After 3 hours or so, this is what we came about. I feel pretty damn proud of this. From here on out, you can save that as a file. Make sure that is WebM. Now this is how it's going to look. It's a really simple overlay to begin with. We're gonna create a blank overlay. We're gonna click start, and from here, we are just literally going to add a video. From here, you're gonna change the video and click this said video, right? Obviously you need to upload it, get it onto there, click submit, video's right there. However, you need to make it 1080p. That's it. Nice and easy, right? So let's take it right here, copy URL. You're gonna click that, it says copied. All you're going to do is bring up OBS on this side. All right, so here on OBS, all you're going to do, you're gonna click add to whatever scene you want to, right? And then you're gonna go into browser source. You can add whatever. Let's just add existing because I already have browser sources in there. Let's just click 4, right? From here, you're going to paste, Control V, what we just did. Click OK. Okay, so that's it. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday on Twitch. All links in the description below. I'll put it right here on my face so you can see it. I do mainly game on there, but I also do some editing and also a podcast all in one go. I believe I'm just a really creative person. My main profession I've been a chef for about 14 years. I'm an exec chef currently, and I get all my creativity from there. And I'm also a musician for 20 years. So anything about audio editing or anything about food, I would love to talk to you about it. So drop on by, head into the stream, and I'm also an avid gamer all on top of it. And you might ask like why there's so many things that you do. I think I'm addicted to learning. I really am. I truly believe that I just like creating and I get a high from it. And I like to tackle things and just really experience the worth and how I can mold it to how I want to see it. So that's it. Not too crazy. Again, all the links in the description below. Check me out. Hopefully I can see you there. Other than that, hope you learned something. Any questions, let me know. Peace out.